Happy New Month, and thanks for tuning in. Nigeria's political landscape has taken another major step towards the 2027 general election. Two of the country's major opposition parties have officially submitted the names of their presidential candidates to the Independent National Electoral Commission, marking a significant milestone in what is expected to be one of Nigeria's most closely watched elections. But beyond the paperwork lies a much bigger question. Can these candidates convince Nigerians that they represent the leadership the country desperately needs? And will this election truly offer voters a genuine choice? Preparation for the 2027 presidential election are gathering momentum as political parties race to meet the timetable set by the Independent National Electoral Commission, popularly known as INEC. On Wednesday, both the African Democratic Congress (ADC) and the Nigeria Democratic Congress (NDC) confirmed that they had successfully uploaded the names and particulars of their presidential candidates to the INEC nomination portal. The move represents another important stage in the electoral process and officially positions the candidates for the next phase of the campaign, subject to the Commission's verification and constitutional requirements. The African Democratic Congress announced that it had successfully submitted the names of its presidential candidates, Atiku Abubakar, and his running mate, Rotimi Amechi. The confirmation came from the party's National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Adulahi, who described the submission as another important milestone in the party's preparation for the 2027 general election. According to him, the party remains committed to presenting what it describes as a credible alternative built on competence, national unity, and renewal. For the ADC, completing the nomination process is more than an administrative requirement. It is the formal beginning of a campaign that hopes to convince Nigerians it can provide a different direction for the country. At the same time, the Nigeria Democratic Congress also confirmed significant progress in its own nomination process. The party's presidential candidate, Peter Obi, announced that he had completed his INEC nomination form. But rather than simply celebrating the submission, Obi used the moment to draw attention to broader issues affecting Nigeria's democracy and governance. According to him, one particular question on the nomination form prompted deeper reflection about the quality of leadership required to move Nigeria forward. The question asked whether an aspirant had ever been declared mentally unfit or adjudged to be of unsound mind. For Obi, that question became an opportunity to argue that the real test of leadership should be reflected in the decisions leaders make while in office. Obi questioned whether politics should dominate national attention at a time when millions of Nigerians continue to face insecurity, hunger, and economic hardship. He pointed to the continuing waves of kidnapping, attacks on security personnel, growing food insecurity, and allegations of wasteful public spending. According to him, these are the issues that deserve the full attention of political leaders rather than endless political maneuvering. His comments raise an important question for every Nigerian voter. Should election campaign focus more on personalities and political alliances, or should they focus on concrete solutions to the country's pressing challenges? Another issue raised by Peter Obi during the completion of his nomination form has already attracted significant public attention. He highlighted another question on the INEC form, asking whether a candidate had ever submitted a forged certificate to the Electoral Commission. Obi argued that transparency remains one of the strongest foundations of democracy. He therefore called on INEC to go a step further by publishing the academic certificates and credentials submitted by every candidate seeking elective office. According to him, making these documents publicly available will strengthen public confidence in the electoral process and allow Nigerians to independently assess the qualifications of those seeking to govern them. His proposal immediately opens up an interesting national conversation. Would publishing the educational credentials of all candidates improve transparency and reduce election-related controversies? Could greater openness help build trust in Nigerian democratic institutions? Or would such a move simply create another arena for political disputes? Whatever one's opinion may be, Obi's suggestion has added another dimension to ongoing discussions about electoral reforms and accountability ahead of the 2027 elections. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Democratic Congress also confirmed that its vice presidential candidate, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, has successfully completed its own nomination process. Kwankwaso disclosed that the party's national leader, Harris Sariki Dixon, visited him in Abuja, where they reviewed preparations for the forthcoming election. According to Kwankwaso, the discussion focused on the party's organization readiness and consultations taking place across different parts of the country, particularly in Nigeria's northwest region. He described those engagements as productive and encouraging, expressing confidence that the party remains united and focused on the road ahead. Dixon also confirmed that both Peter Obi's presidential nomination and Kwankwaso's vice presidential nomination had been successfully uploaded to the INEC portal. According to the party officials, the remaining candidate submission will continue in accordance with the timetable released by the Electoral Commission. This suggests that both the ADC and the NDC are moving quickly to satisfy every administrative requirement well ahead of the official deadlines. Meeting these deadlines is crucial because failure to comply with INEC's schedule could affect a party's participation in the election. The successful submission of these nominations also highlights how preparations for the 2027 election are gradually shifting from internal party activities to nationwide campaigns. Nigeria can now expect increased political consultations, policy announcements, campaign strategies, and public debates as candidates seek to persuade voters that they possess the vision, competence, and integrity needed to lead Africa's most populous nation. The coming months are likely to witness intense political competition as parties present their plans for tackling insecurity, unemployment, inflation, infrastructure deficit, promises lies deeper challenge. Nigerians have heard many promises during previous election cycles. Citizens are increasingly asking whether future leaders will deliver measurable results rather than simply making attractive speeches. Can Nigeria finally overcome its persistent security challenges? Can the economy generate meaningful employment opportunities for millions of young people? Can public institutions regain the confidence of citizens? These are the questions many voters will likely use to evaluate every candidate seeking nation's highest office. As Nigeria moves steadily towards another historic presidential election, the submission for these nominations marks only the beginning of a much longer journey. The campaigns will become more intense, public scrutiny will increase, and voters will carefully examine the records, policies, and characters of every candidate. Ultimately, decisions will rest with millions of Nigerians who will determine the country's next political direction through the ballot box. What do you think about the latest developments? Does the call for greater transparency in candidates' credentials deserve serious consideration? And which issues should dominate the 2027 campaign? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you find this report informative, please share it so that others can stay informed as Nigerian political landscape continues to evolve. I am Chimezrim Okoro, and do have a blessed day.